Started out with nothing. Now I got a whole lot of something. Yeah. Started out with nothing. Now I got a whole lot of something. Breaking through the roof. Willy Wonka when he pressed the button. When I do a money ritual, all of a sudden money started coming. Then I cut the Holy Ghost. Still be rhyming even when I'm mumbling. You repeat my name 3 times. While you staring in the mirror, bottle will appear. Like poof, I came from out of thin air. To me the gun is like a magic wand. I make a problem disappear. I never hated teeth out his mouth. Just to turn him to veneer. I can do magic, I can do magic. 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 When I open up my mouth, I can move masses. Black magic on the beat, turn it to a classic. I'ma take the money out the bank, then I'ma put it in a mattress. Told me the niggas gotta pick the cut, so I turn it to my own fashion. I'm the original AI. I don't gotta go to practice. I got the answer for all the questions. You don't even gotta ask it. Pop, 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 pop. Heard another rapper got blasted. Shoot, DMT, Molly, X. I'ma mix it all up with the acid. I can do magic, I can do magic. 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 Call me Houdini, the way I remove chains. I make it look too easy. When I can't blow, make the money fall from the sky like it's Houdini. Too creepy. When I wanna talk to them, I'm a wizard, I use Ouija. Audio. Side partner, take the pipe down. Call her Luigi. I'm the blue genie. When I do a magic spell, I say hocus pocus. Get the cauldron smoke. Up in the dopest post. I know who the Holy Ghost. Alakazam. I do magic like Shaq and Kazam. On the magic like Shaq and Orlando. I come from a magical land. Feel like Urban Justin on the Lakers. I got some talented magical hands. If you pass it to me in the basket, I'll do an immaculate slam. Damn, abracadabra. Turn imagination into matter. I be turning odds into cadavers. I'm the Alpha and the Omega. I'm a be in the before and after. I'm a magician. I'm the alchemist winning the kitchen. Got a secret recipe I'm mixing. If you witness Jehovah, you stitching. Are you Christian? No, I'm different. I created a whole new religion. I be making accurate predictions. Life is like an episode of Simpsons. I can do magic, I can do magic. 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 I can do magic, I can do magic.
Yes, 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 yes. Give it up, give it up, give it up. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up, man. That right there, that's a banger. That's the anthem. I could do magic. You know what I'm talking about? I could do magic. Simple. We was live streaming a minute ago. I said, nah, we can't do that. So I went in the background and I went and had to do some magic. So here we are, properly in the matrix. You know what I'm talking about? Motherfucker, third eye, pardon my French. Third Eye Thursday. You are now rocking with the best. Yes. The only thing missing is the sound effects. Boy, I wish, man, if I set the I was just sitting here. I was about to say I was gonna pause the show and set this damn machine up, because that's the only thing that's missing is the sound effects. But lo and behold, we can't get everything at once. You know what I'm talking about? You know, we can't get everything at once. I mean, 2024 starting off with a bang, but we're gonna roll this thing out one thing at a time. But what I do know is that we back in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Like we never left. You know what I mean? We are back on our backup channel. Make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure you hit the mother like button. Make sure you share this. You know what I'm talking about? We are here until the algorithm says that they have a problem with that. But we are on the we are back in the building. Know the Ledger is in the building. Shout out to all of my KT aliens. Yeah, Third Eye Thursdays is gonna be lit tonight. We got a lot to talk about. As you know, the world is talking about this thing right here, this man right here, formerly known as Cat in the Hat. Okay, formerly known as Cat in the Hat, and currently known, or BKA, better known as Cat Williams. All right, round of applause. Before we get into that, though, we have to do the roll call so we see who is in the building and we start things out like they always do around this time. You know what I'm talking about? So let's go. We got San Francisco up in this thing. Shout out to San Francisco up in the building. I see you, San Francisco. Let me know, San Francisco, what is the weather like out there? Because everywhere that I'm hearing is going through a cold front right now. It is very, very nippy in Atlanta. It is nippy in Atlanta. Okay, Jack Frost is in Atlanta doing things that Nippy shouldn't be doing late at night. Portland, Oregon in the building. Shout out to Portland in the building. Shout out to Portland in the building. You dig? Shout out to Dallas up in this thing. Dallas all day. Dallas, there's some things moving your way. We got some things coming up in Dallas we're going to be talking about. Also, Detroit. Look out. What up, though? Detroit, prepare yourself. Detroit, prepare yourself. We are pulling up man. I don't want to speak on it, but Detroit, please, when we pull up, when we say that we pulling up, come outside, tap in with us. Norfolk, I see you, Norfolk. All right, I see you, Norfolk. Shout out to the Norfolk fans. Shout out to the VA, the Mondem, the DMV. Shout out to the DMV. Oh, cold and rainy weather. Okay, well, it's that time. It's the winter solstice, so nothing is surprising. Texas up in this thing. All right. The family is here. All right, Louisiana, New York City, 28 degrees. I don't like that for you. Damn, I didn't know it was nippy like that. Oh, you break out the Sherlins. You know what I'm talking about? They got them Avorexes outside. So y'all be good. Y'all got Timberlands and whatnot sponsoring y'all. So shout out to New York City where, 26 degrees is considered warm. I come from the winters where we were crying to our parents like they was making it cold, like they couldn't protect us. Like Jack Frost was basically, it had us, in wrestling when they always had the three count, they count to three, and by two, the wrestler had to he had to jump. But we would be ready to tap out. We would be at count number three, like looking at our parents like, you're just gonna let Jack Frost do this to us? You're gonna let us turn into statues like this? I'm talking about the shit was brutally cold. There was a Cold War, right? That the power of words. We grew up, people growing up, and now the war terror, the Y2K Osiris babies, right? We grew up in what is known as the Cold War, and it really was cold. Now they growing up in global warming and whatnot, and I guess it's warm in places that is not supposed to be warm, but we grew up in the Cold War, and my nigga, New York was cold, and then it got warm again, so nothing to complain about. The Mondem said, I hope you going live on the Epstein list. This is not the time nor the environment for me to, beat on any drums and whatnot and talking about what I've been doing. But man, I can't wait to show you guys the archives. I've been uncovering some. It's almost like stumbling upon an estate sale, and then you buy like a box and whatnot, and you open it up, and it's actually a treasure chest with the finest of linens, jewelry, gemstones, all things of opulence. That is what I'm coming across right now in the world of my content. You know what I'm saying? Coming across, I'm talking about treasure chests. So I want to show y'all, I'm going to show you guys videos that were done way, a long time ago. I'm talking about a very long time ago. And the information that was being said in those videos literally is almost to the level of it's the names that are on that list. We were naming them all the way back then. We had that name. We had those names. It's just that they made it public now. We had those names when we first started talking about the homie. So I'm one of the first scholars, or the researchers for that matter. I'm one of the first researchers and news reporters who brought the Epstein case to the community on film, that were videos that were going viral. We're talking 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000 on either Baba TV, one, on Key of Life Productions, which is Hip Hop is Real, two, and then on Sinetta TV, right? Black Magic News 101, Black Magic News 102, HOK House of Consciousness, and then Black Magic 363, Brother Rich channel, and then Know the Ledge. So the digital footprint is like Godzilla in these streets, in these matrix streets, in these digital. There's nobody to put in more work. And that's not that's not the puffing of the chest, but it's the puffing of the chest. It's this right here. It's that Cat Williams shit, man. Talk black to me. You don't talk about it's Cat Williams all season. You dig? It's Kit Kat all season, nigga. What are we talking about? You know what I mean? It's Cat in the Hat all season. That's how we starting this year. That's what we doing. Yeah, that's what we doing. So you got to be able to talk your shit. You got to be able to stand on your business. You have to be able to state the truth and never apologize for it. That's what you got to do. That's what 2024 is beginning to show us. There's so many lessons that are being taught in this 4 days of 2024. We just got here. And already, this shit is talking to us. You got earthquakes, you got assassinations, you got you got explosions. I mean, you name it. The shit is going down. You got the Dark Matter tour. And the brother's on his Dark Matter tour, right? He is on his tour right now. He is on his tour. He's telling it like it is. Okay? He's speaking his piece. He's telling his life story before what? Allowing anybody else to do what? Tell his story. Why? Because nobody knows your story better than who? You. He's able to speak with no fear of repercussions because what? Because he's not owned by who? By you know who. Who's that? You know, the Steins. What Steins? Weinstein, Epstein, Berenstein. Man, those Steins, they be up to a lot of shit. I don't think I ever want to be around those Steins. These people are keeping up with the Steins. And you wonder why. So he's speaking truth to who? The devil. He said it himself. Because the video is so viral, I can't even really play clips on YouTube of all places. If we were on Zoom behind behind certain encryptions, maybe. But it's already at 10 million. So I'm to the assumption that y'all saw the video or parts of it. Cat Williams represents the underdog. Cat Williams represents you when your family called you crazy. Cat Williams represents you when your family said that nigga's on drugs because he's taking these things that's called herbs that we don't understand, and he's blowing smoke in his face, and they got mud on their face, and they was in the room screaming the other night while they were going through their dark night of the soul. Cat Williams was you when you said, "Nah, I'm good on the impossible chitlins." Cat Williams was you when you was like, "Nah, I'm cool on going out with all of the guys and whatnot to the all man pool party. Nah, I'm good on that, fam. Nah, we could talk business somewhere else. Nah, for real. You ever heard of Chipotle? Yeah, that's Cat. You was Cat Williams. Cat Williams was you when you had another group of people who was your frenemies hating on you, stabbing you in the back, trying to destroy all opportunity whatsoever for you to feed your family. So I see a lot of myself in Cat Williams, or what they call Cat in the Hat, because that's what his original name was before he got sued and they made him change it. Okay. Cat wants all the smoke. Okay. Yeah, Cat wants all the smoke. And if I send this to you in 2024, just know that I want all the smoke. Call me Puff Daddy. Pause. He said something in the interview about these quote unquote prototypes of, telltale signs of when people have crossed into a certain type of club and what they call Holly Weird and whatnot. He said that there is a package that comes with that. There's a starter kit, and he was like, that starter kit comes with some box face light skinned broads who never talk. And he was like, it's about 8 of them or 7 of them. And then I found this meme, and I was like, wow, look at that. And that takes nothing away from women of a fair complexion. Nobody's throwing any shots because I myself, my brother Red Pill, the lover of all red bones, you know what I'm talking about? Don't get it fucked up. But the lover of all hues of women, the rainbow, the rainbow. But he said this is the package in Hollywood, and I can't unsee it. So that's what we got. Look at Steve Harvey. My dude do not like Steve Harvey. What's the move for 2024? Hold on, y'all not. Let me see something. I might have a delay, but I'm looking at my screen. Are y'all seeing the screen where you see all of the comedians with their wives? Do y'all see that on in the YouTube world? I bust said stomach. Okay, said no. All right, let me do something. It might not be. Okay, hold on. What? And I wonder if you knew. There you go. Walk with me, family. Walk with me, family. Okay, now walk with me. So let's rewind the tape, shall we? I said, Happy New Year, Happy New Fiscal to everybody. And you know what the new fiscal means. The new fiscals is, all debts are covered and whatnot. We reset the books. But if I send you this, just know that, yes, I too want all the smoke. You know what I'm talking about? This should be this should all be a black people's card. You know how they used to have greeting cards that they sent around and whatnot? This definitely should be our greeting card. Hold on. I want this to be full screen. Let me see. Yeah, it's small. It's not supposed to be like that. Let me change that. Whatever that is. Okay, let's see. Boom. Does that change it? Is it still small or did it expand? Super wide screen, but still small. Yeah, we gonna fix this. Okay, nah, we gonna fix this. Let's fix this up, cause it don't need to be like that. It don't need to be like that. Video file. Share the screen. Mm-mm-mm. To share audio. Boom. Boom. All right, so it should expand now. And as soon as I see it expand on the screen, I shall begin. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna just have to go ahead with it. You know what I mean? It's gonna do what it gotta do. But yes, shout out to the brother Cat Williams. He is on the Dark Matter tour, right? Me and Blue and AA Rashid, we did the Dark Matter timing lecture in September 2023. We're gonna begin putting parts of that out there, like clips and whatnot. That was a very powerful event. You know, the brother is definitely on a frequency. He's vibrating on a high frequency. Um, he's tapping into a part of his fearlessness and his honesty and his brazen approach to, what it is that is him walking his own quote unquote path that all man is free to do, right? Nobody is subjected or should be subjugated to follow the path that anybody else puts out for them. This man clearly has battled with demons. This man clearly has gone through, trials and tribulations. This man has clearly, been tested by the powers that be for being who he is. So I'm not here to judge nobody. What I look forward, what I look for, especially as a teacher who can't really be too biased and tell people at what pace they should grow and evolve and whatnot. I'm looking for transformation. I'm looking for integrity. I'm looking for character. I'm looking for some type of social uh proof or some type of social worth in your actions, because people just be about talk, but in the brother's actions, I've seen some things to qualify him to say, you know what, this brother is more balanced than people give him credit, right? Because is it not about balance, right? Is that not a dichotomy of what many of us have experienced in life and whatnot, where we are a perfect balance of imperfect and perfect, of understood and misunderstood, of love and war? You feel me? Shit like that. Can't speak for everybody, but I can speak for myself. So yeah, let's get this thing going. So we got this thing figured out. You know what I'm saying? A little technical difficulties, but yeah, okay. So as we can see now that the picture has been expanded, this is what he was talking about. If you haven't seen the interview with him and Shannon Sharp, then you might not know what this picture means to the right with these brothers and their wives and whatnot. And yes, like I said, he came for all the smoke. You know, he came for all the smoke. You know what I'm saying? Whatever gripe he had to take out on his contemporaries, that's what the brother did. You know what I'm talking about? Ah, instead of stretched out. I don't know what. Let me slide only. Boom. This ain't never did no stupid shit like this. So I don't know what this is. I come back to YouTube and they got shit looking crazy. Let me see. Biggie's back. Blue Pill called it Biggie's back. You know what I'm talking about? This is how 2024 is beginning. Remember, we are symbol literate. We talking symbol literacy. It's the symbology, gesture, and everything. That's what I'm looking at. Okay? This is Babylon falling. This is the great fall. This is when in Rome. You feel me? Crossing the banks, right? Attack the judge. This is Saturn, right? The flag falling with the fringes, right? The fall of America, right? Who's going over the bank, right? The helpers, right? The helpers, the buffers, all of the people in the way, right? All of the people who are complicit with these people, right? They're minions. Okay? They're minions. Wait a minute. You tell me that y'all are y'all seeing blood clot? That's crazy. I just see the man. I'm not even seeing the video. Hold on. What are we doing? Yeah, what's going on? I don't like that. I don't like that shit. I'll play it right here, but it's all good. If we gotta make this up, you know what I'm saying, we'll make it up. But it's here though. There's some shit going down. Biggie's back. Biggie's back. Blue Pill told y'all. Biggie's back. It's the symbol literacy of it all, right? It's the
I appreciate
symbol
that, but I think
literacy
it's
of
time
it
we can
all,
get a taste of something
right?
else
This is
because I just
2024.
can't with that industry. In accordance with the laws of the state of
Right?
Nevada, this court.
Nah, fuck that, bitch. I gotta put some music on. Y'all don't mind me. Give me a minute, man. Don't judge me either. Okay? Don't fucking judge me. But we gotta for enemies. Look, man, they want to get me locked up, shot up, cropped up in the basket. Mama screaming over caskets, crying, lying. Y'all niggas know who killed them, filled them with the Rugers from the Ruger. Ooh. He said he getting life. This is it, y'all. Babylon is falling. I'm talking about your kingdom is falling. This is his King the Conqueror shit, right? Like I said, the great divine speaks through signs. You know what I mean? People are like, oh, I'm against violence. Okay. It's the symbol literacy, guys, right? So here's the buffer state, right? These are the soldiers. These are the people who are in the way of this black man, right? Not to say that I'm condoning anything. I'm saying the symbol literacy of this flag, this French flag, crossing the banks, right? My dude, he didn't even like look at where he's at. How did he clear this desk to go over that desk and didn't touch no wood? Pause. They missed out on a high jumper for the Olympics, fam. They might have to you know how they let people out for a furlough? They might have to let my dude out on a special appearance because look at his ups, right? This is Kobe year, y'all. This is Kobe, y'all. We on Kobe time. That's that 24 right there. You know what I'm talking about? Shit is very crazy, y'all. Look, the year started with earthquakes. Earthquakes. This bitch started with earthquakes, right? On the first. Earthquakes, right? And people say, you know, this is not the real New Year's. How did the earthquakes know to set it off, right? On the first, though. What do they know? Right? In different places around the world. I'm talking about hundreds of earthquakes in the last 4 days. But on the first, there were major earthquakes. The one that had the most fatalities, of course, was the one everybody was talking about. In Japan, you got planes exploding, right? You got planes exploding in Japan and whatnot. You got earthquakes and tsunamis. There was an earthquake on Roosevelt Island and there were explosions. That's right there between Queens shit crazy, y'all. There's been assassinations. They hit a major figure the same way that they hit Soleimani in the beginning of 2000. And if my memory serves me correct, that's 19. But if there's anybody in the audience that remembers when they took out Soleimani from Iran, right, in the beginning of January, can you drop that year in there? But they did the same thing this year, right? Crazy, crazy, shit, crazy. Crazy, crazy, shit, crazy. You feel me? So, nothing to fear. Everything that you see is something that was prophesied to take place. Nothing whatsoever is out of your quote unquote programming. It's not something that you already have been prepared for. If you only go back to lessons that you've learned from multiple master teachers, there's been a plethora of them. There's been a plethora of them, right? There's been a plethora of them. I could show you some right here. Okay. It started with a group of master teachers, right? Right here. Right there. Okay. I don't think y'all can see that shared screen. Let me share the screen. So these teachers right here are the ones that I'm referring to. Dr. Ben, Dr. Clark. Okay. The legends. Right? And it goes on and on and on from there. And they've been preparing us from day one for what it is that we're seeing now. Right? So, like I was saying a minute ago, this is who the Israelis hit. This is the target that they took out, I believe, in Beirut. And this is this is somebody on the high commands in the Hamas, because the way that Hamas is set up like an organization, there is no one leader, right? And their leaders do not domicile in quote unquote the Gaza Strip. They're a consortium of different people who are spread out, right? So they caught Son lacking and they took him out. You said you can't see it? Blood clot. You break scuff. Okay. Yeah, this thing acting kind of wacky. Let me do this. Okay, there we go. So, Biggie's back. Biggie's back. Biggie's back. Right? So now you have these people talking about all of this, we done bombed the hospital, right? Matter of fact, let's look at this video. So you see the caucasity in these hypocrites. Let me play this back. This is a young, He's talking about what terrorists are. He said his definition of terrorism is people who target the innocent deliberately. Let me turn this music off. Let me turn this music off. Yeah, let me turn this shit off. Give me 1 second. Okay. So he said terrorists, what they do is they target the innocent deliberately.
Systematic and deliberate attack aimed at innocent civilians for political reasons. You can tell a lot about terrorists, but what happens when they come to power? Those who fight for freedom come to power, not oppose terrorism. Those who do, who fight terroristic means, end up as being masters of terrorist states.
Okay, so check this out. This is the list of healthcare workers killed in Palestine by the Israeli occupation forces 7th from the 7th of October to the 1st of January, right? Now, we're not talking about the 100 plus journalists and press of the world press, right? We're not talking about journalists and press, the 100 plus of them, not them. We are simply only speaking of healthcare workers who were killed in Palestine, because last time I checked, this was not being blamed on Hamas, right? Hamas is not being accused of from anyone in the borders of Gaza of executing, killing, intimidating, robbing, and raping health care workers, right? So look at all of these names. This is a hypocrite that's talking right here, right? Which, while we're speaking of Zionists, let's speak about one of their operatives, right? Because records have shown that he was an agent and he was working directly through Jesseline's pops, who was a Mossad agent, right? And he was running what is known as honeypot operations. And all of the people that he was flying to Epstein Island, right, to have these orgies with midgets were being blackmailed, and they were being utilized by the same government that I'm showing you right now, who are killing children, killing healthcare workers, killing journalists, running around committing war crimes. And obviously people are not afraid of them. People are being blackmailed, and people are being controlled, and people are being strong armed, and people are being quote unquote pressured into silence, into keeping and turning the other cheek, into acting like they don't see a genocide taking place, and for censoring people like red and blue, right? And for making enemies out of anybody who dares to stand up against this cabal. This is an evil, wicked. I'm talking about wicked. You don't need me to sensationalize this shit, because I'm not. The truth speaks for itself. If you need your dopamines to get released in the documentary, you'll just wait for Netflix, because I promise you, somebody will deliver you something in the near future, and to tell you about how wicked these people are. But just imagine for a minute that not only are we blaming, or no, that's not a blame, we're pointing out and we're showing proof. Same way that AI and the GPTs can give you an answer when you prompt it, and they'll kick out an answer and you'll take that for the truth. Well, that's the same thing that we're doing. You're prompting us, you ask us questions and you prompt us, and we kick out answers and we give you the truth. Different variations of it, but it's still the truth. A few of us hallucinate, but most of us are giving you the truth when you prompt it. So Jeff Epstein and his operation is so deep, right? How deep? It's so deep that it's in too deep. What do you mean? It's so deep that it's in too deep, and it goes deep into the deep state. It goes deep into the deep mind. It goes deep into the deep south. It goes very deep. You feel me? Because he is tied into what is known as the rat line. And the rat line is an ever extending tentacle that goes super duper deep into the middle earth, right? Because the middle earth, in so many words, is what we would term in the quote unquote digital world as the dark web, right? The middle earth, or the quote unquote subterranean realms, or the underworld. That will be in the digital world considered the dark web. So the web that we all are familiar with, the web that we are all participating on, the web that is all decentralized, and it has a very good it has an easy user interface, right? It's basically the lobby, or the quote unquote foyer, or the ground level of what the internet is, and what the internet has to offer, and what the internet was developed and built for, right? This is not going to go over the head of anybody who knows basic quote unquote technology, and who knows anything about the internet, right? Because you know that this is like an iceberg. So consider where we are right now in what is known as Web 2.0, or regular internet, www dot the www dot world, where there's millions and millions, maybe billions of websites. Well, that is considered to be 5% of an iceberg, the tip of an iceberg. There's 95% of an unseen quote unquote a network, an unseen quote unquote interconnected network of many different sites, and many different doors, and many different worlds, and it is called the dark web. Go and look it up, right? As a matter of fact, for research purposes, well, nah, I was gonna I was gonna go and do some Google searches, but you know what? Let me do it for the sake, because I know how to get back and make the big screen. Let's go and do the Google searches, because I can assume that we are all at the level of information, right? And we here to learn. So I'm here to teach, and I love doing this. And we need to know about certain things. Okay. All right. History of the dark web. Much has been said about the dark web and the dark markets that exist, but how did they arise, and where did they come from? How have emerging technologies been used for illicit sales? What about the first purchase made online and the rise of dark markets? What is the role of lawmakers, and what stance will policymakers from around the world take to control this criminal activity, right? So this is the beginning of the dark web, 1969, right? You have APRANET, right? The first illegal sale on APRANET. Fast forward all the way to 1994, the first secure purchase made over the internet. 2002, Tor alpha version was initially deployed to allow anonymous internet communication. 2008, the development of Tor browser began. 2009, Bitcoin software is finally released to the public and its mining begins. 2010, Bitcoin had its monetary value assessed for the first time. 2011, the first dark market finally appeared, the Silk Road. 2012, Operation Marco Polo. Operation Marco Polo was launched. 2013, Silk Road was seized, and they gave that boy life, right? They gave the white boy life, right? Okay. So keep in mind what's mentioned in this history. This is not my um theories. This is not how I feel. This is not what I think. Taking you guys, and I'm showing you an event timeline, and I'm showing you what is known as the facts, right? Okay. So Bitcoin plays a prominent role in the dark web. So chances are and chances will be that the majority of the people who are Bitcoin rich these days come from where? Oh, right, the dark web. Okay, doing what? Criminal activity. Ooh, so you mean that there is an entire new wealth class of people who had their start doing a lot of activities on the dark web, going all the way from organ harvesting to sex trafficking, everything that is involved with what is known as the rat line, because this is where your plugs exist. This is not where the average corner top boy is shopping and whatnot. This is where your plug shops and becomes the plug to you and whatnot. This is where the plugs exist. This is where the real links. This is where people were buying big things. And I don't want to get in the algorithm excited and whatnot, but big things were being purchased on the dark web. And with big things being purchased, you had to have a lot of Bitcoins. So people were quote unquote utilizing Bitcoins in the hundreds of thousands. In the hundreds of thousands. People were moving Bitcoins in the hundreds of thousands on the dark web, just getting credit card numbers, bro. People were moving hundreds of thousands of Bitcoin, just getting weapons, like weapon switches and other little things, and weed and pills and, you know, MDNA and everything that you can imagine was where on the Silk Road. What? The same way that it was always on the Silk Road. Historically, the Moors, their roots were where? The Silk Road. Right? Their roots, their trade routes were through the Silk Road, which was through China and India. That's how they were moving the finest of fabrics, like the linen and the wool and the cashmere and the silks and whatnot. But they were also moving weaponry. They were also moving inventions. They were moving books and information and research. They were moving all type of quote unquote luxury items and goods and spreading them throughout their trading routes, right? This is what so fast forward the Silk Road now, they're trading crops, they're trading the same type of things, information, crops, you get the download for the what you call it, what's that? The 3D guns, the 3D, the guns, the printout for the 3D shit. Give me 1 minute, y'all. Give me 1 minute. Mm, mm, mm. Do. Okay. In 2009, Bitcoin software was released to the public and its mining began. However, it wasn't until the following year, in 2010, that Bitcoin had its monetary value assessed for the first time in a transaction. When somebody decided to sell their Bitcoin, swapping 10,000 of them for 2 pizzas. Hold on. So is the road still made of silk? Essentially, hold on. Okay. So somebody decided to sell their Bitcoins. They swapped 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas, right? So somebody used 10,000 Bitcoins to get 2 pizzas, right? So that's just one example of how people use a bit. That's just one story. There's a million stories. There's not there's a lot of stories where you had to use a lot of Bitcoins to get something that you wanted, like numbers, right? So the Ukrainians and the Russians were the ones selling a lot of the credit card information because they were the hackers and whatnot. And they were the ones who were on the dark web and the Silk Road getting mad Bitcoin. That's why you get a lot of them as Bitcoin billionaires right now. A lot of people from the underworld became very rich by utilizing the dark web, right? Not even realizing at that time that Bitcoin was going to be what Bitcoin is now. Henceforth, a lot of the fear of the banks and the bankers and Wall Street and a lot of these other people, because once again, they're like, this wealth class is not considered a wealth class that we find bankable. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, you can't allow all of this wealth or this new wealth class to enter the market and whatnot. And these people are not even talented. These people are not coming from technology. They're not investors. You know, they're not from old money. They're not from new money. They're criminals. They're the underworld. They're the quote unquote outskirts. They're the ones who are, you know, that's how they frame it. That's how they frame it. That's not me saying it. This is how they're framing it. Okay. Finally, in 2011, the very first dark market appeared, the infamous Silk Road, with all the technologies already in place and working well: internet, Tor, and Bitcoin, right? So, look, it's a three-layered system, right? It takes three layers for this thing to work. Henceforth, why certain things are not working, because all of the layers are not finished. Still got another layer or two so this thing could come together, right? As with all things, from my engineers and my carpenters and my architects out there, you know, it's going to take multiple layers, right? So the three layers that are at work is the internet, you have the Tor browser, and then you have Bitcoin, right? And Ross Ulbricht, aka Dread Pirate Roberts, right? I think they got a documentary on Netflix, was able to start his long-awaited criminal project. He said the idea was to create a website where people could buy anything anonymously with no trail whatsoever that could lead back to them. According to the FBI investigator Christopher Tarbell, Silk Road became the most sophisticated and extensive criminal marketplace on the internet at that time, right? Unfortunately, it was short lived. And by 2012, a postal inspector told law enforcement about strange activity on parcel sorters and the increase of drugs being sent through the mail. The FBI set up a multi agency task force called Marco Polo and took control of the investigation and soon discovered the underground drug site called Silk Road. Within a year, in 2013, Silk Road was seized, and the 27-year-old Dread Pirate Roberts was arrested. So, is a Silk Road made of silk? Essentially, Silk Road is seen to be the pioneer of illicit transactions, the godfather, if you will, of illicit dark web activity. But like most criminal activity, when one door closes, another one opens, and other large markets began to appear, which Silk Road sellers and buyers shifted to. Let's take a trip down memory lane with a timeline of the past 7 years, showing the rise and fall of some of the most famous darknet markets so far. 2013, Silk Road. 2014, Operation Anonymous. 2015, Evolution, created in January 2014 by Verdo and Kimby. 2017, Alpha Bay. 2017, Hansa. 2019, Dream Market. 2019, Wall Street Market. And then Valhalla. And then Deep Dot Web. Ha ha ha. Look at that. You don't even know what you're missing. Evolutions. Its creators executed so-called exit scam, shutting down the market and disappearing with the user's money, leaving them empty-handed. Alphabay, said to be the largest online dark market in the world. Alphabay was shut down after Alexander Case, its founder, was arrested by the Royal Thai Police with the help from the FBI and the DEA. A series of mistakes led the police to him, and Alphabay's takedown was seen as the most sophisticated and coordinated takedowns ever in the fight against online criminal activity. Hansa and Operation Bayonet. Hansa was taken down during a massive globally coordinated operation called Bayonet. This 10-month investigation had a different approach, taking full control over the market. operating it for over a month and then shutting it down. So they took over the market for a month, right? After they after they arrested the culprits, they were operating it and then they shut it down, right? Which basically was just cloning it and making another one. Dream Market, the longest running market on the dark web. Dream Market was shut down because it was having difficulty staying online due to DTOS attacks, which were driven by a $400,000 ransom demand they couldn't afford. Wall Street Market and Valhalla. Valhalla Marketplace was seized by Finnish law enforcement during the same time the Wall Street Market was seized. It had been operating since 2013 and had 1 million active users. No details about the seizures have been released. Deep.web, the popular dark web news and index website Deep.web was seized on May 7th. Just days at. So they all working together. You feel me? Make no mistake about it. These people are all working together. You feel me? So this rat line right here, these people who go to these islands, okay, they are plugged in through the dark web. They are communicating on the dark web. I just showed you the websites of marketplaces where drugs and guns and all kind of things, people are sold, body parts are sold, hitmen are hired and whatnot. But it's so many different other rooms. It's so much illicit activity. It's such an underworld you have no idea about and you might not want to know about. This is called the In Too Deep. I have a whole series that we started in 2016 called In Too Deep. So this is part of that quote unquote investigation that we're all witnessing right now collectively as a nation, as a world. You know what I mean? And it's it's an eye opener. So the Epstein files have been unsealed. We have the documents. Here are the most important John Does. We start with Bill Clinton, John Doe 36. That's gonna be a meme. John Doe 36. That's a whole. We start with whose deposition was essential to provide info on his relationship with Maxwell and Epstein. So here's the thread. In 2011 interview, Mrs. Guffey mentioned former President Bill Clinton's close personal relationship with the defendant and Jeffrey Epstein. While Mrs. Guffey made no allegations of illegal actions by Bill Clinton, Ms. Maxwell in her deposition raised Ms. Guffey's comments about President Clinton as one of the obvious lies to which she was referring in her public statement that formed the basis of this suit. Apart from the defendant and Mr. Epstein, former President Clinton is a key person who can provide information about his close relationship with defendant and Mr. Epstein and disapprove Ms. Maxine's claims. Right? So these are all of the names of the people who were on that plane. Al Gore, Alan Dershowitz, Alan Baldwin, right? Alyssa Rogers. These are people, when you go to that island, you're having fornicating with children, right? You're fornicating with underage women. That's what he was doing, and boys as well. That's his thing. That's what he was into. He wasn't doing, yo, I got my crib for you could chill at my crib for the weekend and we're having a Mike Rubin white party of, weird people with hook nose who are just, having orgies. No, that's not what they say. Jeff Epstein and some of his cohorts, like the royal prince and whatnot, they're known for their pedophilia. This is about pedophilia. This is about the quote unquote traumatization and the the demonic MK Ultra. This is MK Ultra. This is net is MK Ultra, but it's being stripped down and is being whitewashed and is being politically correctly sealed with these these keywords and these SEO words and these quote unquote real I'm vanilla baby. These vanilla terms. It's all vanilla, but what it is this MK Ultra. It's MK Ultra. It's what Cat Williams was talking about. It's basically these deviants, it's deviant behavior and whatnot. It's Sodom and Gomorrah. It's Roman antics. It's spirit cooking. It's spirit cooking. It's ritual. It's Crowley. Oh, it's Aleister Crowley shit. That's what that is. It's dark magic. Okay. It's summoning entities. That's all that shit is in so many words. And they're giving it all of these different names. And what they're doing is trying to separate things. Cat Williams, Jeffrey Epstein, Puff Daddy or P. Diddy, everything is connected. The war going on overseas and them people going over, they're all connected. They're all the same. They're in the same quote unquote storyline. They're in the same stream. They're in the same multiverse. They are part of the same quote unquote super, or what they would call quantum entanglement. They're all quantum entangled. Nothing is separate. Look at all of these names: Michelle Obama, Miley Cyrus, Naomi Campbell, Oprah, Paris Hilton, right? King James, Kathy Griffin, Justin Trudeau, right? John Travolta, John Legend, Joe Biden, Jimmy Kimmel, Jim Carrey. Come on, talk black to me. These are not all, these are clients, right? These are Quentin Tarantino, Prince Andrew, Pharrell Williams, right? Paula Epstein, Ellen DeGenerate, Ed Buck. Remember Ed Buck? Drew Barrymore. These are all the Romans in Rome doing what Romans do. This is when in Rome, baby. All of them is in Rome. You're not going over there to do nothing Carthaginian. Cindy Lopez, Courtney Cox, Courtney Love, Demi Moore, David Spade. Then they was lit. That was Mike Rubin before Mike Rubin. Chris Tucker, or shall we say Chris Smith, Charlie Sheen, Charlize Theron, the one that flipped her children to be what? The one that flipped her black children to be what? The one that flipped her adopted black children, this South African woman, this Boer, demasculated these children. Ben Affleck, Barack Obama, Angelina Jolie, I'll wait. Anderson Cooper, I'll wait. Bernie Sanders, I'll wait. Bill Clinton, I'll wait. Beyonce Knowles, I'll wait. Bob Saget, the one who got dead, he unalived himself, right? I'll wait. George Clooney, I'll wait. Charlie Sheen, I'll wait. Cher, nigga. Celine Dion, nigga. Bag of bones. She going through some shit right now. I'll wait. Katy Perry, Kevin Spacey, Kirstine Gillibrand, Lady Gaga, Larry Summers. What the fuck? Was this the land of Oz, my nigga? Did you have to go there to get the what the fuck? Was this like the this is like Rome's pilgrimage right here. This is the motherfucking cube, nigga. This is Mecca. This is Mecca for pedos. This is Mecca Disney World. This is come on.
The power couple revealed last year that they ended their 27-year marriage.
Any of the questions remaining about what Bill's relationship there was, those are for Bill to answer.
That's Melinda sitting down with CBS Morning's Gail King on Thursday, her first wide-ranging interview since the split announcement in May.
Divorce is a painful process, even when it's what both parties want. It still is a very painful, personal decision. It wasn't one moment or one specific thing that happened. There just came a point in time where there was enough there that I realized it just wasn't healthy and I couldn't trust what we had.
Among those contributing factors, Bill's connection to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. The disgraced financier died in jail in 2019 while awaiting trial for sex trafficking charges.
You know, it was also widely reported that Bill had a friendship or a business or some kind of contact with Jeffrey Epstein. It's not one thing, it was many things that I did not like, that he'd had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein. No. Mm-hmm. And you made that clear to him. I made that clear to him.
Linda admits she met Epstein and doesn't mince words about her first impression.
I wanted to see who this man was. And I regretted it from the second I stepped in the door. He was abhorrent. He was evil personified. I had nightmares about it afterwards. My God, I feel terrible for those young women. It was awful.
In a statement to CBS News, Bill calls meeting with Epstein, quote, a mistake that I regret deeply. He adds it was a substantial error in judgment.
Any of the questions remaining about what Bill's relationship there was, those are for Bill to answer.
Is she shitting on my nigga? Let me find out. So yeah, why are we eating food that he's selling us? Right? Why is he selling people food? Right? Right. These are the three most wanted men in the world right now for execution. Okay. This is who. These are the Hamas heads and whatnot. They already knocked homie down. Okay. These three right here are the targets that they're going to use their assassination as, to and basically to show their dominance in this war or this conflict that they've completely lost on so many fronts, mainly in the court of public opinion. One, secondly, their quote unquote their standing around the world as any type of a democratic or moral nation has been disseminated and destroyed. There's no public relations in the world. There's no public relations campaign in the world. There's no agency nor firm that can fix the reputation that Israel destroyed in a matter of 90 days. Okay. So these are martyrs right here. They're walking dead men, right? These are martyrs. And they should be cool. They all gray. They beyond salt and pepper. They just salt. You know what I'm talking about? And they are symbols of strength. Look at all of them with their collars dressed like Western men. They all are symbols of strength. They all are symbols of resistance. They all are symbols of warriors, like for their people, right? For their people. But what if this whole conflict that we see taking place is a result of something that was going on with these quote unquote demonic people who have been proven to be quote unquote anti, they don't have the kind of characters, nor do they have the type of discipline that we give them credit for. They don't have that type of heart, nor do they have compassion. They've been accused on so many occasions of being deviants and taking advantage of women and whatnot. And this article right here had raised, or this case right here was creating a lot of angst. You know what I mean? There was a lot of angst. There was a lot of pushback. Israeli teens arrested for brutally raping a 2-year-old toddler in Beit Shemesh, right? These settlers and whatnot. These same settlers that when the Gazans crossed over, they became very heartless towards and whatnot. There was a lot of violations taking place on that side where these babies and these children and these women and these innocent, these innocent Palestinians have suffered horrific offenses. Okay, horrific offenses. So, the ill thing about this man is he is facing huge pushback from his own country. They want him ousted. They want him gone. They want him out of here. His Supreme Court dealt him a blow that he was trying to move forward. He and his party at this point are so desperate that I would not be surprised if they even had some type of coup take place, coup d'etat, a military aggression that's similar to the way that your boy Adolf was moving in his days and whatnot. Because he is twinning. He is almost a carbon copy in a sense in terms of the dangerousness of him is almost greater than what Adolf represented in his day and times. Okay. So we're paying attention to that. There's an invasion at the border right now. There is an invasion at the border right now. There is an invasion at the border, and it's not just at the border. The secret invade, the same shit that they were showing you on Netflix is taking place as we speak. Okay, they are men, armies of men from the continent and from Asia in America right now who are crossing over religiously. They are being given plane tickets. They are being given quote unquote um they're being given plane tickets, they're being given stipends, they're being given gift cards. They're allowed to go to any state that they want to link up with their relatives, and they are to be on standby. Okay, we have to pay a lot of attention. They're going to deputize. These are going to be a new standing army. Either if not, these are going to be voters for the Democrats. If not, these are going to be quote unquote the buffers to quote. They're not doing it. They're not opening up their borders for something to benefit the quote unquote whole. However, it doesn't matter what someone is doing because someone doesn't control your destiny. So someone is not in control of this movie. So ultimately, as the problem solvers that we are and as the strategists that we are, we collectively can come up with some type of ways to take advantage of the flood of this labor force, of take advantage of the flood of these quote unquote, able bodies and whatnot. Take advantage of this flood because it does have it has to have a positive. You know what I'm talking about? But there it is also attached to an agenda. It's not happening happenstance.
Big news out of Arizona. Sheriff Mark Lamb has exposed a startling policy by the Biden administration. Illegal border crossers are reportedly receiving $5,000 gift cards and free plane tickets upon entry. Lamb highlights the national security risks, pointing to unvetted military-aged men from global hotspots like China and Africa benefiting from this scheme. As Americans struggle financially, our government spending on illegal immigrants is under scrutiny. A recent Homeland Security report reveals the fiscal burden on taxpayers is a staggering $451 billion annually. This raises serious concerns about financial accountability and national security. As unvetted individuals are entering the country, Sheriff Lamb's statements paint a picture of fiscal recklessness and a disregard for American citizens, challenging the administration's priorities. Dive deeper, tap the link on our channel.
Okay, so they'll have you in fear about this Southern American invasion, but what they won't tell you is the hand and the role that they play in disrupting South America, okay, and making it quote unquote unlivable in some areas where people have to migrate into the USA. Check this out.
Here's every South American country which has had its government overthrown by the CIA since 1947. Costa Rica in 1948, Guatemala 1954, El Salvador 1979, Nicaragua 1981, Panama 1989, Paraguay 1954, Brazil 1964, Peru 1968, Chile 1973, Uruguay 1973, Argentina 1976, and Venezuela in 2002. Many of these were perceived as ideologically opposed to the United States, were leftist dictatorships, or were some combination of the two.
So, whenever they give you this thing about illegal aliens and whenever they give you this rant about people coming in our borders, just keep in mind that they are the disruptive force. They are the killing force. They are the demonic force. They are the quote unquote, the tsunami and the hurricanes that wash up on these same shores for the same people who are scattering, who consider themselves refugees. America or the USA's hands have a play. So these is all John Wicks coming into America. Imagine a whole army of John Wicks marching into America. They not on scooters and whatnot. They on feet, right? But they know that the people in the USA had something to do, or if they knew that the people in the USA had something to do with their country's downfall and quote unquote vassal state status, where they're like IMF slaves, where you can't even grow your own food and they killing off the farming, and you can't even, you living on islands that produce fruits and vegetables, flora, and all kind of stuff, and you can't even participate, you can't even enjoy it because y'all are locked in by these economic hitmen. And this is what people are going to push back against. My good brother Bounty Killer, one of the main inspirations for a lot of Bodman gunman things in Flatbush in Brooklyn back in the days during the dance hall era in the early 90s, he's in Jamaica fed up.
Because the government of Jamaica, they're not helping the people. They're helping themselves. It's a serious problem with Jamaica. Tiffany Garden will never turn PMP. Jungle will never turn GLP. So how we are going to get it from PMP and GLP? Jamaican people are idiots when it comes to politics. They like people. They don't like policy. They don't like goodness. They like their friend. I put them mother and them cook and them granny did vote for. Tradition politics them a vote for. Me vote for Jamaica. I love freedom, happiness and goodness. Me don't like PMP, me don't like GLP, me like Jamaica. Jamaicans not playing that. They're playing PMP and GLP. Half of the country, 3/4 of the country are PMP and GLP and them cars are now we are going to stay with it. Because when we want to get rid of PMP, we can't get rid of it. When we want to get rid of GLP, we can't. You party you want, you know. Not GLP and PMP, I'm not there. And we to all the foolishness will be going through.
More Claude. Is it time for a new party, right? It's time for a new party. So everything is beginning to become anew. 2024 is anew, the 8, right? Everything is, it's infinity cycle. It's the 8. It's the completion of things. Everything is forming, right? There's new fronts that are forming. There's new coalitions that are forming. There are new superpowers that are forming. There are new plugs that are forming, which is going to form new experiences, which is going to form new circumstances, which is going to form new marketplaces, which is going to form new trade routes, which is going to form new billionaires, which is going to form new projects, which are going to form new products, which is going to form new families, right? It is not too late, right, to allow yourself to see yourself winning, right? This is all about the W at the end of the day. Like, y'all got this shit fucked up. You're going to win regardless if you in El Segundo, if you in El Salvador, you know what I'm talking about, or you over there in El Paso. It don't matter where you at. It ain't where you from, it's where you at. It ain't where you're from, it's where you at. So doors are opening up all around the world. You, out of all of people of your pedigree, stock, in quote unquote nation, or you have some more culture than the average person. You've learned about Indian culture. Look at all of these people up here. Look at the bricks, right? Check this out. You learned about Indian culture. You learned about Chinese culture. You've learned about Nigerian culture. You've learned about Brazilian culture. You've learned about South African culture. You learned all about the Zulu. You've been checking out Krato Mutwa. You know about the Dogon and Mali. You know about the Chinese, the original Han Dynasty. You know about the Untouchables and the Thuggies and whatnot in India, along with so many other things. Utilize what you know because you are acculturated. You have more culture than the average. Utilize what you know for your benefit in this new global economy See it as a plus. The Western man who is at CBS News and Fox 5, it is not their job, nor it is their duty, nor would they ever tell you the positive impacts of what the brick nations or all of these new things that are taking place outside of America, what that means for you. Only you know that. Only you know that. But it's there, you're not going to get the marching orders from these quote unquote people who benefit off of your weakness or off of your quote unquote unknowingness. It's your unknowingness, the fact that you don't know other marketplaces exist, the fact that you don't know outside of the USA your face card is very good and people will do things for you. They will offer you things and they will help you. They will assist you, right? You just need a plan and you need to be quote unquote adamant about seeing all of your business go all the way through and just stand on business. You can't go outside of the USA and play. You can't hustle nobody. You can't play games, but you don't have to. And look around you. It's not a mystery. You go into any marketplace, go into any event space, go into any conference hall. Melanated people, they are connected with overseas suppliers and manufacturers, and they are operating multi-million-dollar businesses. These are people who did time in jail. These are people who dropped out of school. These are people who had a dream. These are people who basically told themselves what it's going to be, and that's what it was. And they're doing it. It doesn't matter about their background. This is a whole new economic wealth class. This is a whole new economy. This is a whole new set of rules. You have to know that the rules have changed, and you have to change accordingly. You cannot live in the past. You cannot live as a victim. You cannot talk about what somebody is not doing because you don't live in that time no more. It don't matter about what somebody is not doing. They have given you all of the tools and all of the powers to be the thinker, the knower, and the doer. For all of my supporters, right? Not the people that are watching this. This has nothing to do with you because you don't know you're not connected to the network like that. But for everybody in the network, everybody who is a supporter, who see what we're doing, building our own machine, building our own quote unquote platform, building our own brand. The rebranding is Rich Phil for a reason. It's not egotistical. I am doing for my network the same thing that Rich Paul did for his network. You know what I'm talking about? I'm getting two people, I'm getting businesses, I'm getting brands, and I'm getting families and last names in a better position because my network is my net worth. I have a very, 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 very valuable network. I don't know nobody who has a more vast and more wealthy quote unquote network than me and Blue Pill. Hands down, I do not know anybody on this planet. Facts. Super facts. People don't introduce me into their network. I'm bringing them into my network. Let's be clear. They're coming into our network. Nobody's introducing us to nobody. And they can't because it's the network is already vast, bro. It's already vast, man. So my everything changed once I realized and I seen the light. And I'm like, I just got to bring the people together. I connect these quote unquote, these bridges and these links. I'm a liaison. I'm a bridge. I'm a conduit. I'm a generator. So yes, this is the Cash App. Please make it, my supporters that are out here. Happy New Year's to all of y'all. Make it rain in your life. You know what I'm talking about? I wish you all I wish you riches. I wish you success. I wish you abundance. This year, this even year, this 24, this Kobe year, this is going to be about abundance. This 4-4, this is going to be about completion. This 4-4, this is going to be about the harvest. It's going to be raining manna from the skies. I promise you, this is a bull market right here. The bulls are going to run very soon. Be prepared. And for people who've been putting in that work, fear not. You are going to be appreciated. You are going to be given, fuck your flowers because flowers die. You're going to be given your plants. You know what I mean? Because plants grow. You're going to be giving your plants. You're going to be given your worth. You are going to receive the quote unquote compensation and the reward that you and yours deserve for putting in that work. Ye are rich. Ye are rich. You already are rich. You already put in the work. You don't got to look in front of you. Look behind you. The riches are behind you. You already walked the yellow brick road and whatnot. Proof of work. You put in that work, then ye are rich. You want to get rich? Put in the work. It's as simple as that. Whatever the work may be. Cat Williams is putting in the work. He got up there and he started twerking on these niggas. You know what I'm talking about? Cat Williams is putting in the work. When Ye was up there twerking and working, he was putting in the work. He had his stream of consciousness. Keep in mind, what is being affected mostly in these quote unquote situations that we are seeing that have been quote unquote made popular culture? What is being affected? The 85er, not you. This is not about you. Stop making it personal. Let me pull this thing down. I hope y'all hit up the Cash App, and I appreciate y'all. If you don't have it, even if you do got it, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, man. Do you know you gonna do what you gonna do? You know what I'm talking about? I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? We're gonna do what we're gonna do, you know, and you just gotta do what you do. You just gotta make it do what it do. You feel me? You just gotta make it do what it do. But in 2024, it either it is or it's not. I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing a game where I'm like, yo, this is what we're gonna do, and then nobody do it, and then they be coming on stage, or you want to come and try to smile next to me, like, nah, I'm giving Cat Williams energy all 2024. Right? He said black magic. I'm giving these niggas black magic energy all 2020. No, he said dark matter. We got to give them dark matter energy all 2024. That's how we starting this shit. This was the equivalent of that boat ride in what was that? Alabama? You know? We got music coming. We got apparel. The drip is going crazy. Shout out to Athletics. He got new drip and whatnot. Check him out. The artwork is yeah. 2024, y'all. For real, for real. The music is going crazy. You know? What about the rest of us that aren't a part of your clique? What's that mean? The clique right here is KT Aliens, right? The clique. My clique is on Patreon. The only clique that I got is the people that clicked on Patreon. You feel me? I'm gonna drop a link for Patreon right here. The goal is 10,000. I want 10,000 members on Patreon real soon. I'm not gonna give it no time date and whatnot because I ain't chasing no members. It could be in 1 week. It could be in 7 days if everybody heard the request and just signed up. Or it could be 7 whatever, but it ain't gonna be no 7 years. You know what I'm talking about? We ain't playing that game. You know? So the Patreon is free. It's right here. I know it's like kind of slot, but hopefully that's a hyperlink where you could click it and go right there. If not, copy it and then put it in your browser. You know what I'm saying? Copy it and paste it in your browser, and it will take you to Patreon. You could sign up for free 99. Nobody wants your money. We just want your attendance, and we want your email. We want your data. We want you to sign up and be counted. That's very important moving forward. You got to be counted. The more money, the more numbers and heads that we got, the more money we negotiate when we go to these people to say, yo, we want you to sponsor us, right? Because there's big money out there. Believe you me when I say it, and don't feel no type of way, and don't be in your poverty mind and whatnot. Budgets have opened up for consciousness. I'm going to repeat. Budgets have opened up for consciousness. And there are companies out there that are global entities that look at different brands inside of consciousness, and they want to invest. They like, nah, I see what y'all doing. I'm gonna drop a few hundred mil right on there. Boom. They ready to invest. They are ready to quote unquote cooperate. So the numbers matter. Just be counted. Nobody is asking you to do anything but to be counted. Nobody's, I want this to be, as easy on everyone as possible. All you got to do is be counted. And when we do something and we ask for the people to come out physically, we just need you to come out. Now, before I got to make this announcements, before I forget it, we are doing the Melanin Mondays live on MLK weekend, 115, January the 15th, and we are going to bring Brother Rich, aka Black Magic, to Melanin Monday on January the 15th. That is not this Monday. We are going to take one Monday off, and then we are going to resume Melanin Mondays on the 15th with our good brother Rich. We will be listening to music from the highly acclaimed release, the music project. I don't call it an album because it's not an album. It's not a CD. It's not an album. It's a musical project. It's called Holy Ghost 3. We will be listening to tracks off of it. We will be interviewing the producer, Brother Rich, aka Black Magic, and we will also be introducing and interviewing the platform owner, Brother Rich, aka Black Magic 363. He has hit 400,000 subscribers. So his time to be interviewed has come, and we have to celebrate our brother. We are going to need everybody in the building because it's time to celebrate. So when we celebrate as a network, as a community, and as a village and whatnot. So yeah, we are going to be dropping the link for Melanin, but 640 Evans Street, right in the West End, across the street from Krispy Kreme's, is called YG Urban Cafe. YG Urban Cafe, and that will be January the 15th, 7 to 10 p.m. It might even go longer. And that's Know the Ledge, Melanin Mondays IRL, episode 7. Okay, Melanin Mondays IRL, episode 7. Not this Monday. We're taking the Monday and we're going to do it bi-weekly. All right. For the winter time, we are doing it bi-weekly, not weekly, because it's the winter time. So the winter time is a time for healing. The winter time is a time for healing. It is a time for meditation. It is a time for reflection. It is a time for, many of these things. It's a time of hibernation. The winter time is a time of death, rejuvenation. The winter time is a time of reflection. The winter time is a time of rest. The winter time is not a time of burnout. It's not a time of running around. It's not that. So we're not going to overexert oneself during this winter. We're going to work. We're going to create. We're going to rebuild. We're going to work on self. We're going to rebuild self. We're going to rebuild foundations. We're going to work on building teams. We're going to work on building some type of network. We're going to work on building on formulas. We're going to work on building outside of the gaze of the public. We got to build in private so we could flex in public. That's what the winter is about. Discipline as well. Can't be undisciplined during the death seasons. You can't be undisciplined during the winter. You can't be undisciplined and unquote unquote uninvolved and whatnot during what is known as the seasons of depression, because winter depression is real. So to push past winter depression in this winter, we are going to be working. We're going to be working. So Melanin Mondays the January 15th. It's entitled I Have a Dream, featuring Brother Rich. I Have a Dream, featuring Brother Rich. January 15th. And it will be available live stream, so everybody will be able to tune in. It doesn't matter where you are around the world, okay? It doesn't matter where you are around the world, you'll be able to tune in. So I look forward to seeing everybody in the building and whatnot. And yes, it feels very good coming back. I took my brother Rich actually gave me advice, said, nah, you got to come back to YouTube, Rich Phil. He said you gotta come back to YouTube, bro. We can't have you going from YouTube. He said give it another few, give it some more time. So I came back. I'm here and I ain't going nowhere. And we're gonna build our Patreon even bigger, better, more powerful. We're gonna reach that number because I need 10,000. You know what I'm saying? I need 10,000. I have plans for everybody that's a part of that membership and whatnot. I need 10,000 of us because I promise you, we are going to be able to completely disrupt this matrix. It is all numbers driven. I want to do something that has never been done before, and I need the numbers to just do it. I don't need nobody you don't get hurt. You don't break yourself. I don't need your bread. This ain't no Ponzi scheme, niggas. You know what I'm talking about? I don't need none of that. I just need simple numbers. And I will show you something that you have always wanted to see. And I'll leave it at that. And I'm not a snake oil salesman. And this is not a pitch. I'm not trying to upsell you nothing. I'm literally just giving you some vision as to what the future brings. The track record, you could do a credit check. You can run my background and whatnot. And you'll see pillar prophecies 1 to 1,000. You know what I mean? I'm proving to have a little bit of foresight when it comes to certain things. And I'm here to let you know we are entering into a time where these numbers, you're going to be able to shake the pillars of the matrix. I wish y'all was on. We had this town hall meeting on my Patreon. Who is in the Patreon? Who is in the building right now from Patreon? Who was in the town hall meeting yesterday when I brought all of those people on the stage? I brought a brother who sells tiny houses. I brought the sister Lisa Nicole Cloud. She has health and wealth, a whole income stream system set up. I brought my brother Corey, the captain, on the thing. This brother is offering free tablets and free phones for anybody who qualifies, who is on government assistance. We could get you hooked up with $20 activation with a free tablet, a real free tablet, and a real phone like an iPhone. And you don't have to pay the bill for 5 years. And I know that there's people out there struggling and whatnot. And I know that there's people out there on assistance. And I know that there's people that need that. But not only are we giving away devices and whatnot, not only are we giving away technology and whatnot, but we're also offering people the opportunity to become employed by us. Okay, because this is like franchising. So we're also giving employment opportunities because my business partner, he has the federal contract. So we are utilizing our non-for-profits. We're utilizing our influence. We're utilizing our network to help other people around the world that are a part of this network eat. Come on. What else can you ask for? That's a touchdown. What a fucking way to come back up in this bitch. You know what I'm talking about? They got me looking at you niggas like Cat Williams right now. What did he say? I'm appalled that you put so much faith in untalented people. Hold on, let me pull up that part that he said, because my nigga is cooking.
When I talked about R. Kelly, they canceled me for these things because why would you talk about another black dude? Race is not where the line is drawn. It's God's side and the other side. And we don't care nothing about the other side.
That's right. I need my sound effects.
All of these big dick deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong way. The truth is the light.
And they have the number of these.
Amen, amen. Your story is the Ricky Smiley that couldn't even do curse words because he had a Christian fan base. He was gonna play the pimp. Why you didn't ask him why has he played a woman in more movies than he's played a man?
Well, I didn't know
he shouldn't be able. You wouldn't let an athlete that been on steroids talk about one of the greats. Ricky Smiley can't act because Ricky Smiley can't act. He told you the story about when the movie came out. Where did he say he watched it? At home. He wasn't even at the premiere. You telling this man, you stole that. Oh, so he could get his name in the same sentence with a great one. It is. The truth of the matter is, the Money Mike in the original script got raped in the bathroom. And that's what Ricky Smiley was okay with. Cat Williams had to take the risk in front of the studios and the cast and our powers that be in his very first movie and say respectfully, humbly, guys, if we talk about anything else, I have no credibility and I have no pull. But we're talking about comedy, where I have all the credibility and all the pull. The problem with Friday After Next is we're trying to make a classic comedy. And this comedy involves a rape. And rape is never funny, no matter who it happens to or what the circumstances are. If you would allow me to allow us to do this movie without a black man getting raped in it, I promise you that it will be twice as... The truth, he was so egregious, I put in my contract that I won't work with Ricky Smiley again unless he's in a dress. Now, what was Ricky Smiley's next movie? Was it First Sunday? Did he wear a dress in it? You bet he did. It's in my contract.
Why would you put that in your contract, Cat?
That's where he's a believable actor. Him and Tyler Perry can't play a man to save their life. They play good women, and I believe that the best actor should be in the best role.
You did a number on it, though.
Hey.
You did a number on it. That's legendary.
No, you either believe in karma or you don't. Because I didn't even know any of the stuff that she had done to my fellow comedians until afterwards. I just know that it was a setup.
Right.
And remember, they tried to kill me this same weekend. Not in jokes. With a real gun in my real face on real camera. Understand I'm losing my life for participating in something that goes along with my job. Like, just two comedians, what do you mean? And the world was okay with it because it was me.
Radio, you went on a radio interview. If I'm not mistaken, that's in Atlanta.
Right.
And you came on there with seemingly good intentions. And she attacked you.
It wasn't just that part. It was the fact that before I go in there, she has a conversation about, okay, now, I just want to talk to you because you just won an Emmy for the city of Atlanta, and this is in Atlanta, and they just want to hear about the Emmy and hear from you and to thank you for what you did putting the city on. Right. And we won't talk about your kids. We won't talk about jail, no cases. We ain't going to talk about none of that.
Right.
And immediately gets in there and goes the opposite way. You can't flip up on me because you're an inferior comedian. I'm going to destroy you, and I'm never going to call you out of your name. I'm never going to say anything disrespectful to people that look like you. It's a very thin line I got to call, but this lady is trying to embarrass me in front of a largely homosexual fan.
Radio, you went on.
Can y'all hear that clear? Are y'all hearing this? Like, let me know. What's the audio looking like coming through this microphone? Because I know it's not feeding through the computer. How's it sound?
They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the...
Okay. So this is this is him talking about Hurricane Harvey. Your man's in them, right?
Do you
That's
wonder
your
what
man,
they?
Hurricane Harvey, right? That's the nigga that helped, because he helped produce Paid in Full and a few other movies. Monsters Ball.
They canceled me for talking about Harvey Weinstein before the thing came out, but he offered to suck my penis in front of all my people at my agency. What am I supposed to do? He did all of that. I'm thinking I'm the only black person on the script. I get there, it's 3 other black guys on there. Woo! Huh?
So you wonder what they did to get that?
I told him no. What y'all do? And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down.
Heads go down. Heads go down. My nigga was in his bag, yo. My nigga was in his bag. Hold on. Maybe I could switch the audio and then it will play it through the thing. Yeah, my guy was in his bag. Let me see something real quick.
I appreciate that, but I think it's time that he gets a taste of
Oh,
something
no.
else, because I just can't with that history.
Nah, it's still not playing through the thing through my headphones. Okay, so good. Yeah, so pretty much, you know, it's so much to talk about. We will continue this conversation, you know. We will continue this conversation on Saturday. I'll be on Black Magic. That'll be my first show on Black Magic for the New Year's. So I'll definitely continue not only this conversation, but the way the news is running up. There'll be so much to talk about by Saturday that this will be considered old news, right? This will be considered old news. This is definitely part of the quantum quickening, hands down, bar none, bar none, bar none, you know, bar none. This is the quote unquote Kali Yuga. This is the quantum quickening. This is the end game. This is the end times. This is the Aquarius age. This is the solar maximus. When can you hear that? Where can you hear the interview? On Shay Shay's room. Shay Shay. That's Shannon Sharp. Shay Shay's room. It did 10 million in 2 days. That shit is super viral. It did 10 million in 2 days. You know what I mean? So you don't think that I'm biased. It did 10 million. So what does that tell you? That means that he's, you know, he's tapped in. He's tapped in to be at a Cat Williams show. And then the shows are called Dark Matter, which is right in alignment with Dark Matter timing. So you damn right that he's watching our videos. I know that he's watching our videos. I know that Charleston White and the old man is watching our videos. I'm damn sure you damn right they watching. You damn right they tapped in. You damn right this is a renaissance, not a revolution. This is a renaissance. And this renaissance been going on for a very long time. This renaissance have been taking place in the culture for a very long time. So the 85ers are being affected. The 85ers are having red pill moments. There's people who you've been trying to talk about the danger, the agenda in the industry, and they never wanted to hear it from you, but they'll watch this interview and they'll hear you echoing in the background when he's saying it, because that he's the quote unquote co-signer. He's the trade line. He's the one with perfect credit. He's the star. The same way when Ye said, you're an Indian. The same way when he said, we're not, we don't rock with France. All of the things that he was saying in that stream of consciousness, all it did was he was just basically like like when the clerk will stamp papers and whatnot to certify them. When you go to the notary and they're giving you the stamp and they're notarizing, he was notarizing talking points of people who are a little bit past what they consider to be woke. So the woke, even that woke thing is being bent further. The woke spoon is bending further back and whatnot. The woke goalpost is extending into the blurred lines of consciousness. It's now folding over in this quantum world or this quantum reality. It's a fold over. So it's woke conscious now. So they're pulling you into woke conscious where, they're like, we not black. We not from here. That's not something that woke people were on before. They're on that now. That's the woke people they gotta appease their growing flocks who are like, it has to be more than just ambulance chasing, victimhood consciousness, and things of that nature. So they're leaning more now into, all right, we're gonna be into some deeper shit. We're not from Africa, or we we're slaves in America because of the codes and whatnot. Black is a status. That's where they at right now. So with Cat Williams video going viral for 10 million, it's not you that is affecting, it's Carisha in them. It's the twerkers in them. It's the sexy red crowd. It's people like that who now there's once again that window where you could be the teacher and the students that are already, now you can appear. You don't force yourself into any room. When they're ready for you, they'll call for you, right? But now it's your time to activate because you're the guide. You guide us people to the darkness. You guide the people through the darkness. You guide the people through their cocoon phase while they're turning into butterflies. Because what? The truth is like water. You see the background with these numbers that are falling like manna and whatnot. If you had the quote unquote a certain vision where you could see certain light spectrums, you would basically see all of the manna that's falling all around you, all of the dew that's falling all around you and whatnot. You will see that there's numbers all around you. Okay. So everybody that's standing on business going into 2024, and you know that this shit is going to be not a game. You know that the great divine is speaking through signs. The great divines is speaking, right? Great divine speaking through sign. Okay. It's showing you. You gotta, you know what I mean? Biggie's back, right? Biggie back. Tupac's back. Biggie's back. You got 23 and 24. MJ for 23, Kobe for 24. Two legs of a body and
I appreciate
whatnot.
that, but I think it's time
Black
that he
man
gets
is
a
fed
taste
up.
of something.
This shit is a lie. It's
I
false.
just can't with
This
that
is the
history.
Moors in
Because
court.
once with the laws, the state of
The
matter,
rise
what
of
is it?
AI. Islam, right? Right? The ships are attacked. They're attacking the ships at sea and maritime. They're sinking the ships at sea in the Red Sea, right? They're disrupting the trade routes on the Red Sea, on the Silk Road. They're sinking ships with drones and whatnot. They are committing what is known as not highway robbery, the piracy on the seas and whatnot, maritime and whatnot. This is all the rise of AI, out Islam. It's not going anywhere. The rise of the Moors. We are in some crusader times. What a time to be alive. That's all I gotta say. What a effing time to be alive. You feel me? So I'm not gonna talk myself to death because I got things that calling for my attention right now. I got some work that I need to tend to. I have to prepare for the strong end. Um, yeah, that part. I gotta prepare for my strong end. So shout out to all of the supporters. Thank you all for your donation, for your not your donation, for your investments and for your quote unquote New Year's gifts, right? For your New Year love, for your welcome back to YouTube Cash Apps. I like those. I appreciate those. Welcome back to YouTube Cash Apps. Rich Phillip in this thing. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, so we will be back. We will be back. I shall return. I will be back. I'll be back. Let me see if you can hear this. Let me know if you can hear this.
Whole lot of stuff, just breaking through the roof. When they walk away, they put the party. More money ritual. All of a sudden, money started calling. Still be rhyming even when I'm gone. You can be my neck. 3 times. When you staring in the mirror, color will appear. Like, oh, can go under the neck. For me, the gun is like a magic wand. I'm the disappear. See how it's mine. Just a turn it to the neck. I can do it now. I can do magic. 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 When I open up my mouth, I can move magic. Black magic on the beat, turn it to a classic. I'ma take the money out the bank, then I'ma put it in a mansion. So many niggas gotta pick the color and turn it to my own thing. I'm the original AI. I don't gotta go to practice. I got the answer for all the questions. You don't even gotta ask. Heard another rapper got blasted. Shoot, ding, ding, not an ass. I'm a mixing dollar with the ass. I can do magic. 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 Come on, Rudy.
All right. Big up yourself. Big up your blood. All right. I see y'all. Love and light.